Pursuant to applicable law and my determination that attendance by remote means is necessary because an in-person meeting is not practical or prudent due to the declared public health disaster caused by COVID-19, this meeting is conducted by video conference. We will now have a roll call vote to establish quorum. Will the aldermen please make sure that their microphones are unmuted only when your name is called? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Laspada.
Here.
Alderman Laspada is here. Alderman Hopkins.
Here.
Alderman Hopkins is here. Alderman Dow.
Here.
Alderman Dow is here. Alderman King.
Present.
Alderman King is present. Alderman Hairston.
Present.
Alderman Hairston is present. Alderman Sawyer.
Here.
Alderman Sawyer is present. Alderman Mitchell.
Here.
Alderman Mitchell is present. Alderman Harris.
Here.
Alderman Harris is present. Alderman Beal.
Yep.
Alderman Beal is present. Alderman Zlowski Garza.
Here.
Here, and happy birthday. Alderman Thompson.
Present.
Alderman Thompson
And
is
you.
present. Alderman Cardenas.
Present.
Alderman Cardenas is present. Alderman Quinn.
Here.
Alderman Quinn is present. Alderman Burke. Alderman Burke.
Here.
Alderman Burke is present. Alderman Lopez.
Madam President, your Christmas present is here.
Alderman Lopez is present. Alderman Coleman.
Present.
Alderman Coleman is present. Alderman Moore.
Present.
Alderman Moore is present. Alderman Curtis.
Here.
Alderman Curtis is present. Alderman O'Shea.
Here.
Alderman O'Shea is present. Alderman Taylor.
Here.
Alderman Taylor is present. Alderman Brookins.
Here.
Alderman Brookins is present. Alderman Rodriguez.
Present.
Alderman Rodriguez is present. Alderman Tabarez.
Present.
Alderman Tabarez is present. Alderman Scott.
Present.
Alderman Scott is present. Alderman Cicho Lopez.
Present.
Alderman Cicho Lopez is present. Alderman Maldonado. Alderman Burnett.
Present.
Alderman Burnett is present. Alderman Irvin.
Present.
Alderman Irvin is present. Alderman Talaferro.
Present.
Alderman Talaferro is present. Alderman Raboyes.
Present, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Raboyes is present. Alderman Cardona.
Present.
Alderman Cardona is present. Alderman Wagaspack.
Here.
Alderman Wagaspack is present. Alderman Rodriguez Sanchez.
Presente.
Alderman Rodriguez Sanchez is present. Alderman Austin.
Here.
Alderman Austin is present. Alderman Ramirez Rosa.
Present.
Alderman Ramirez Rosa is present. Alderman Villegas.
Present.
Alderman Villegas is present. Alderman Mitz.
Present.
Alderman Mitz is present. Alderman Sposato.
Nick Sposato is here.
Alderman Sposato is present. Alderman Nugent.
Present.
Alderman Nugent is present. Alderman Vasquez. Alderman Vasquez.
Present.
Alderman Vasquez is present. Alderman Napolitano.
Present.
Alderman Napolitano is present. Alderman Riley.
Present.
Alderman Riley is present. Alderman Smith.
Present.
Alderman Smith is present. Alderman Tunney.
Present.
Alderman Tunney is present. Alderman Gardner.
Present.
Alderman Gardner is present. Alderman Kappelman.
Present.
Alderman Kappelman is present. Alderman Martin.
Present.
Alderman Martin is present. Alderman Osterman.
Present.
Alderman Osterman is present. Alderman Haddon.
Present.
Alderman Haddon is present. Alderman Silverstein.
Present.
Alderman Silverstein is present. Peter?
Your Honor, there are 49 members present.
I don't know.
Your Honor, we have a quorum present.
Alderman Austin, I few, thank you. Okay. Thank you. There are 49 members present. We have a quorum. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now rise to say the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing. I pledge of allegiance
Allegiance
To the flag
to
of
the flag
the United
of the
States
United
of
States of
America,
America.
And to
And to
the
the
republic
republic
Which
which
stands
stands
one nation.
one nation
Under
under
God.
God, indivisible,
liberty.
Liberty and justice for
justice
all.
for all.
God bless America.
Thank you, Nick.
It's my pleasure to announce that the invocation will be delivered by the Great Reverend Marshall Hatch Sr. of New Mount Pilgrim Church from the West Side. Reverend Hatch, I just want to personally thank you for your leadership during this very difficult time. The work that you were doing on the West Side, particularly your investment in the young men on the West Side, is a remarkable gift to our city. And we send you and your congregation the warmest of blessings and offer you a happy holiday greeting from me on behalf of the city. Thank you so much for all that you do. The floor is yours, Reverend Hatch.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you to the members of the City Council. Our fellow citizens, let us pray. Gracious God, we thank you for the strength, the gift of life this day to serve, and we pray that you would bless the deliberations of this council today. We thank you for the leadership of the mayor, and we pray that you continue to grace all of these public servants with the hearts of shepherds, that they will have with us and for us the vision of one city, of one great city by the Lake Michigan, a city of great industry, a city of great hospitality, a city of big shoulders, of railroads and air travel, a city of Carl Sandburg, but also let it be a city that welcomes the Laquan McDonalds and the Betty Joneses and the Quintonio LaGreers. Help us to see that the vision of one city means that we put the needs of our children, the elderly, and the poor first. We remember the teaching of Scripture that when the least of these, those who are in the margins, when their interests become central, that's when the kingdom of God arrives. And so we thank you now for the power to shape the direction of this city, to make a difference on behalf of those who are struggling in the midst of this coronavirus, this pandemic, and the ongoing epidemic of the pathologies of poverty. And now, Lord, we thank you for allowing us to be vessels to be used by you. And we pray that you would use this city council to do your work. And we ask every blessing in the name of the one who is born outside the inn in this season, baptized in muddy Jordan, reared in the ghettos of Nazareth, arrested by the authorities, crucified by the empire, but raised by the power of God. And we pray this prayer in the name of him who says, as you've done unto the least of these, you've done it unto me, even in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Hatch. And before we begin the public comment, I do want to remind our colleagues that today is the birthday of Alderwoman Sadulowski Garza and wish her a very happy birthday.
Happy
I also want to
birthday.
say
Happy birthday,
Way
Sue.
ahead of you, Mayor.
birthday, Sue.
Thank
you, Madam President.
Happy birthday, Sue.
Members of the
Happy
council.
birthday.
Happy
and I
birthday.
also want to extend a happy birthday to all the December babies, because I think we've had some that have occurred already and some will be occurring after we have our city council meeting today. So happy birthday to all. And at this moment, we will begin the public comment.
I don't feel like going out.
The council will now begin the public comment period, which is limited to a maximum of 30 minutes. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. Any written comments that have been submitted will be posted and made available for automatic review. The first speaker is Kate Lowe.
Good morning. My name is Kate Lowe. I'm a member of the Bridgeport Alliance in the 11th Ward. The Bridgeport Alliance is today asking council to take 2 actions to support environmental justice. First, we urge all of you to vote against the proposed rezoning of 2424 South Halsted. Prologis is seeking to build a facility there, which Crane reports Amazon will lease. Residents within a half-mile of the site are 80% people of color. Furthermore, this is a missed opportunity to develop riverfront property in line with the new equitable transit-oriented development policy. In fact, the Plan Commission's vote on this rezoning was divided. Second, we are asking Council to pass a moratorium on logistics facilities on the south and west sides until it adopts ordinances addressing the inequitable distribution of logistics facilities. These sites, in fact, may not bring substantial economic development benefits. In its Regional Strategic Freight Direction report, the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning is cautious about freight for local economic development due to negative impacts because other uses actually bring more tax revenue and because many associated jobs may be lost to automation. As many of you know, logistics and other polluting uses continue to concentrate on the south and west sides, which are already inequitably environmentally burdened. In addition to air pollution and quality of life impacts, logistics facilities present potentially fatal traffic safety risks, especially for pedestrians and bicyclists. Instead, green, livable, and healthy land uses and jobs are possible and can be envisioned together. However, we need to halt inequitable logistics proliferation while working on such collective visions and alternatives. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Lowe. Our next speaker is Mr. George Blakemore.
Mr. Blakemore, please press *6 on your phone to unmute.
Yes, my name is George Blakemore, and I'm not happy this morning. It's not oh happy day. Yesterday, someone showed me a video of a Black woman being abused by the Chicago Police Department. This Chicago Police Department is run by psychopaths, white psychopaths. Chicago is known throughout the world as being one of the most racist cities in the United States. Dr. King made that statement, and it's still going on today with this so-called Democratic machine. Just several weeks ago, we had an election between the Democrats and the Republicans. And I try to warn my people and tell these were just the same bird with two different wings, institutional racism. So I'm not happy. I want an explanation, and the Black community wants an explanation. When did that happen? What we know. Why did it happen? And why is it's a cover-up? What is the definition of transparency? Why would you want to keep us in the dark? Something is inherently wrong here with these Black elected officials called the Black Caucus to accept that budget, with these white psychopath aldermen, and with these Hispanic that advocate for a sanctuary city in the United States of America. We have custom and immigration. This is a country supposed to be of democratic laws. How can you let illegal from Cameroon, Guatemala, or Honduras come over here and use these resources that are very needed in the Black community? Public housing, they get it. They get free education, they get it. They get food stamps. So I am not happy today. I'm an angry Black male. Why do this continuously go on? All of you there are part of the problem, not the solution. And then when our young people keep singing, we shall overcome. When will we overcome? How are we going to overcome this Holocaust that has happened to our people here in the United States of America? Now, Miss Lightfoot, we look for change. I hope that you have hoodwinked us. What is going on down there at this city council? Is something, you clicking me off.
Mr. Blakemore, thank you for your comments. However, your time has expired. Our next speaker is Yolaine Dolphin. Ms. Dolphin, are you there?
Yes, I am. Mayor Lightfoot and members of the City Council, thank you for the opportunity to offer some comments in favor of the proposal to rename Outer Lakeshore Drive to DuSable Drive. My name is Yolaine Dauphin. I'm an attorney and founding member of the Haitian American Lawyers Association, one of the many organizations which support renaming Lakeshore Drive in honor of Jean-Baptiste Pointe-du-Sable, the founder of the city of Chicago. Having emigrated to the United States as an 11-year-old, I attended grammar school and high school in Evanston before attending college at Northwestern University and law school at the University of Chicago. At no point in my early education in Evanston was I taught about the contributions of Jean-Baptiste Pointe-du-Sable to the city of Chicago. Sadly, Black and brown children growing up in Chicago may not know DuSable was a Black man from the Caribbean country of Haiti who built a home north of the Chicago River near Lake Michigan in 1779, established a trading post and provided for his family through his work as a trader and settler. After all, DuSable's contribution to the history of Chicago were soon forgotten, and John Kinsey, the man who purchased DuSable's land, home, bonds, and other belongings in 1800 was credited for years as the founder of the city. And while DuSable is now officially recognized as the founder of our country's third largest city, 241 years after he built the settlement, which later became the city of Chicago, there is no major monument, no holiday, and no street named in his honor. The City Council now has an opportunity to recognize the contributions of Jean-Baptiste Pointe-du-Sable and showcase the city's founder in an appropriate manner. Renaming Lakeshore Drive, a premier road in Chicago, to DuSable Drive would raise the profile of this Black hero and demonstrate to the Black and brown children growing up in Chicago that they matter and the contributions they will make to the city and to the world will also be recognized and celebrated. Thank you very much for your attention and my best wishes for the holidays.
Thank you, Ms. Dolphin, for your comments. Next speaker is Patrick Dior.
Mr. Patrick Dior is not here.
Our next speaker is Ms. Elise Hernandez.
Bonjour. Good morning, Mayor Lightfoot, City Council members, and Committee on Transportation. Thank you for this opportunity to speak this morning. My name is Elsie Hernandez, founder and president of the Haitian American Museum of Chicago, known as HAMAC, representing the Black Heroes Matter, one of a coalition of more than 80 organizations and businesses, along with other supporters who are calling for the injustices to Jean-Baptiste Pointe-du-Sable, Chicago founding father, to be corrected. The museum opened in the Uptown community for the last 8 years. The museum mission is to share the rich art, culture, and history of the first Black nation in the world. Jean-Baptiste Pointe-du-Sable came from Saint-Domingue and now called Haiti. He traveled and became the first non-native settler by the lake in Chicago And I must tell you today, ladies and gentlemen, that most of the visitors that come to museum from Chicago and other states of the United States are not aware of Jean-Baptiste Point du Sabre. The city is in a unique position today to set an example by correcting the injustices to the Sabre starting today with your vote. And we named the Lakeshore Drive from Hollywood to North Side to 67th Street to the South Side as the Sabre Drive. We also needed a monument and a full city holiday in honor of the Sabre who founded in this great city. But today it's all about the Sabre Drive that may say formerly Lakeshore Drive. After 240 years, a Black Heroes Matter coalition can see no reason why all members should not vote for Lakeshore Drive to be renamed in honor of this Black man who founded this great city, Chicago. Your Honorable Mayor Lightfoot, members of the Council Transportation Committee, along with all other council members, are in unique and history-making position to do for Chicago what 1,000 before has failed to do. Please do not let this day pass. Let us do it together for this Black Chicago founding father. A sincere thanks to all of you and happy holiday. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hernandez. Our next speaker is Fan Lee.
Hello, my name is Fan Lei. I will be living within a 2-mile radius of 4 last-mile logistics facilities in Bridgeport. I'm here today to express opposition to the rezoning for 2420 South Halsted, record number O2020-3724, which is for the Prologis Amazon warehouse in the 11th Ward, because this project will disproportionately harm low-income and non-white residents, both environmentally and economically. I encourage everyone to read WBEZ's investigative report titled Amazon's Massive Chicago Area Expansion Was Fueled by $741 million from Taxpayers. There you'll learn that Chicago gave Amazon 6 times more in tax incentives for projects built in communities with high concentrations of Black, Latinx, Asian, and low-income residents than those in predominantly white communities. Right now, there is only one Amazon last-mile warehouse on the north side, but soon there will be 5 of them on the south and west sides. It's shameful for leaders like Commissioner Maurice Cox and Alderman Patrick Daley Thompson to claim that a few hundred minimum wage jobs will revitalize our economy while purposefully hiding corporate tax breaks to effectively hold the community hostage to your garbage economic plans, and to claim moral superiority while deepening the worst parts of racial segregation. Economic and environmental development aren't mutually exclusive outcomes. At the CPC hearing, the Metropolitan Planning Council commented, quote, "This site holds the potential for mixed-use, transit-oriented development. Such a development could simultaneously create recreation, preserve local biodiversity, and grow the tax revenue generated by the site more than a single warehouse," end quote. The work for environmental justice will extend well past this planned development, which is why residents are demanding stronger oversight processes. First, establish a city department for environmental protection. 2, per the recommendation of the Chicago Department of Public Health, develop an ordinance requiring new and more stringent permitting requirements to prevent cumulative burdens from disproportionately affecting certain neighborhoods. Third, issue a moratorium on all logistics facilities in the city. And lastly, vote no on record O2020-3724. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lee, for your comments. The next speaker is Anna Shabrowski.
Hi, my name is Anna Shabrowski. I'm the Community Development Lead with Bridgeport Alliance, a grassroots community group. As Kate Lowe and Fan Lee said, Bridgeport Alliance is asking you to vote no on the rezoning of 2420 South Halsted. The rezoning would allow Prologis to build a last-mile logistics facility that would flood our streets with hundreds of delivery vehicles and tractor trailers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. According to the developer's own traffic study, on a peak day, which isn't defined and could occur nearly every day, 752 delivery drivers will come into our neighborhood and cross our protected bike lane on Halsted. 446 warehouse employees will commute through our neighborhood's residential streets, and 42 semi-trailers will travel through our neighborhood and turn across our protected bike lane to enter and exit the facility. The site plans show 11 loading docks for semi-trailers, which means that this 24-hour facility could easily unload even more semi-trailers, up to 264 tractor trailers per day. The developer is the landlord, and they cannot guarantee that these are new jobs or the quality of these jobs. They're only saying that this is the number of vehicles that will be traveling through our neighborhood now. The areas affected are L Station, residential streets, and bicycle lanes. This is adjacent to the Halstead Orange Line station, which people walk and bike to for L access and bus access. 20% of Bridgeport residents don't have access to a car, according to CMAP, so safe access to the CTA is essential. The employee entrance will be on Senauer, a residential street directly across from homes in a quiet area with cul-de-sacs where children play in the street. This will also be adjacent to bicycle lanes on Archer Avenue, which is a designated spoke route and offers bicyclists a route northeast toward the loop. This diagonal street is similar to the Milwaukee Avenue on the north side. It will have traffic on Halstead Street. It's adjacent to, and the trucks will exit onto Halstead Street, which is a designated crosstown bike route, and Loomis Street to the west, which is a designated neighborhood bike route. Halstead and Loomis are our bike routes across the Chicago River, and those allow us to connect with neighborhoods to the north. Halstead and Archer is already a dangerous intersection for pedestrians and bicyclists. In 2016, a driver hit me at this intersection, crushing both bones just below my elbow, requiring multiple surgeries and joint replacement. In the last 3 years, there have been 10 car pedestrian crashes and 18 car bike crashes in this area right at Halstead and Archer. We have too much traffic violence at this intersection and on the southwest side in general. Please vote no on this rezoning, and please adopt a moratorium on rezoning for logistics facilities until there is a citywide plan to distribute them equitably. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shabrowski, for your comments. Our next speaker is Melanie Brown.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to the great mayor, Lori Lightfoot, our wonderful aldermen, alderwomen, and wonderful stakeholders. My name is Melanie L. Brown, and I'm speaking on behalf of Black Heroes Matter. We would love to have Lakeshore Drive to be renamed after the founder, John Baptiste Point DeSable. We are all a part of his legacy. We are standing on his shoulders and should at least put our hands together to work to lift his name up. We have part of Lakeshore Drive on the table to be named after DeSable, but he did not discover just part of Chicago. He discovered Chicago, and so having part of Lakeshore Drive will be saying we only acknowledge you, founder DeSable, in part. I believe we should name the whole drive after him, and he should have a street named after him as well. Naming anything after the founder should not be taken away from Chicago. We have renamed other streets, buildings, and towns. People hate change, but we will have the opportunity to get used to it as we have throughout history. Renaming should not be taken away from Chicago. It should be showing and adding respect to the founder, for there would not have been a Chicago without him. We honor founders in every business, organization, sorority, fraternity, church, this nation, and it should not stop with a city. Let's honor our founder of Chicago, and thank you for allowing me to speak. Happy holidays, and thank you, Mayor Lori Lightfoot, for acknowledging the December birthdays. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brown, for your comments. Our next speaker is Mr. Hemant Patel.
Good morning. I am Hemant Patel. I am going to comment on Resolution R 2020-583. It is an attempt to condemn India for its Citizenship Amendment Act called CAA. First of all, it is full of lies. CAA is being condemned in spite of being one of the most humanitarian laws. Let me explain CAA in a simple language. Let's say one morning, your neighbor, along with his wife and 2 kids, knock your door. They are scared. They are frightened. Your neighbor said, please help us. Please help us. 50 gangsters are behind us. They already have killed my brother and raped my sister. Now they are behind us. You, being a good human, allowed them to come inside your home. 5 minutes later, the same 50 gangsters knock your door and screaming at you, if you are sheltering your neighbors, you better allow us in your home to stay with you. My question to all city councilors, what would you do in this situation? Please answer this question before passing the resolution. That is what exactly the Indian government has done. The Indian government has provided citizenship to those minority Christians, Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, and Jains who were persecuted, tortured, killed, raped by the majority of Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan. I'm saying majority Muslims of Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan. CAA is not about taking away a citizenship of any Muslim of India. It is not going to impact a single Muslim of India or anybody for that matter. CAA is all about giving citizenship to those who need it the most. What is so wrong about it? Why should the Indian government absorb 400 million Muslims who persecuted minorities in their own countries? It is more than America's population. Another important point to note here is that Pakistan had about 24% Hindus in 1947. It is now under 2%. My question is, where did those 22% Hindus go to? Are they killed, converted, or kicked out? Please think about my question.
Mr. Patel, thank you very much for your comments. However, your time has expired. Our next speaker is Mr. Ephraim Martin.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Martin.
Yes. To Mayor Lightfoot and members of the City Council, good morning. Again, my name is Ephraim Martin, President of Martins International, on behalf of the Black Heroes Matter Coalition, asking for the injustices to Chicago's founding father, Jean-Baptiste Point de Sable, to be corrected. Today, we are asking Alderman Brookins to have a vote in the next Transportation Committee meeting to rename Lakeshore Drive from Hollywood on the north to 67th Street in the south as the Saab Drive. We cannot wait until April. In fact, 2020 should not have passed without this vote. Remember, justice delayed is justice denied. Alderman Hopkins, our people found your remarks on WTTW to give the Saab an honorary street, belittling to the founder. You went on to say, I quote, as an African person who came to our city, for clarification, the Saba did not come to our city. There was no city or village by the river at Lake Michigan when he came and started his trading post. The land was with us structured, with no one on that site. The indigenous people were scattered throughout Illinois and visited and befriended him. This is the Saba land. In 1995, Martins International hosted our African Caribbean Festival of Life on the Saba's original property, Cityfront Center and west side of Navy Pier, a venue that was used for major festival upward of 10,000. Our event attracted 3,000 fans, mainly African American. The then Alderman Burnett and a few of the residents called our peaceful event an invasion of a private community. Dr. Margaret Barrows was in attendance and asked that we move the event to the Saba Museum Garden, all because of fear of nothing. 2 years earlier, in 1993, the same proposal to rename Lakeshore Drive as the Saba Drive, presented by then Alderman Tony Preckwinkle, was rejected with Hilton Hotel saying the name DeSaba would affect the hotel and that visitors would stop coming to Chicago. So Alderman, in fact, what you're saying unintended is the same as the panic of Hilton Hotel 27 years ago, that the name of DeSaba black man will chase tourists away and stop the rich people from driving on the DeSaba Drive. That is a part of systemic racism, which we the people will not allow anymore. The more compromised proposal is for the outer drive, which is fully endorsed by the Black Eagles Matter. It includes little or no residential address change and should make all council members and the people of Chicago proud. Again, Alderman Brookings, we urge you to.
Thank you very much for your comments. However, your time has expired. Our next speaker is James Burns.
Good morning, council members and Madam Lightfoot. My name is James Burns. I'm the president and founder of South Branch Park Advisory Council. We're a community-led volunteer 501c3 organization focused on inclusive use of the parks located along the South Branch of the Chicago River and advocate to use the river as a connector between people and communities rather than a divider. We are based out of Park 571 at the Jeannie Gang designed Eleanor Street Boathouse. This location is at the confluence of the South Branch of the river, Sanitary and Ship Canal, and Bubbly Creek. I'm also a Bridgeport resident and citizen of the city of Chicago. I come before this body today to discuss the proposed development by Prologist along the South Branch of the Chicago River. This development and the conversation around it began in the summer of 2019. Just a few months prior to this conversation starting, my organization released the framework plan for South Branch Parks. In this plan, we outlined a vision for the future of our small corner of the city. This followed extensive community engagement and feedback that brought together hundreds of people and took nearly a year to complete. This Prologist site is a few short blocks from the nexus of our plan. While we acknowledge the proposed development will bring jobs and economic opportunity to this underutilized piece of property, and the developer has committed to connect the riverfront walk on the eastern and western portions of the site, which is in line with our plan, we believe there is more work to be done. My organization has been in contact with our local aldermen, but we have had no meaningful engagement with any other party associated with this development. In contrast, our plan, my organization's plan, documents how many people we connected with and where they're from. We connected to over 100 people at our largest event. Bridgeport and Pilsen were by far the most represented communities. I haven't seen anything regarding this development representative of Pilsen, and if so, the parties involved haven't shared anything that demonstrates as much. Despite this, I remain optimistic that this site and all interested parties will engage in greater dialogue with the community, especially as the community benefits agreement is finalized. As logistics and last mile distribution centers continue to help the Chicago economy grow, I urge the city to hold meaningful conversations with stakeholder organizations. And again, I urge the city and all the people wishing to do business with the city to remember that residents and community-based organizations have a voice and it should be heard. We are here and we can strengthen developments just like this one. And when we are left out and diminished, it makes us wonder why, and rightfully so. Happy holidays, and thank you all for your service to the city of Chicago.
Thank you, Mr. Burns, for your comments. Our next speaker is Linda Hudson.
Hello.
Hello, Ms. Hudson. Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Good morning, Mayor Lightfoot and City Council members. My name is Linda Hudson, and I live in the 8th Ward. 7 residents of the 8th Ward asked that I speak before you today. A resident of the 8th Ward has a petition currently circulating, and that petition is requesting that Alderwoman Michelle Harris meet with her constituents on a regular basis on so many community issues, but basically the increase in violence in the ward. I never thought that I would see the day when taxpayers would have to circulate a petition to have a meeting with local elected official, not a congressman, not a senator, but a local alderperson. Alderman Harris' answer to meeting with the residents is to co-sponsor a resolution to the City Council today, calling for a public hearing on efforts to curb the rising number of carjackings in the city. That is not good enough. The petition that's circulating, and it's only been circulating a few days, has over 1,300 signatures on it. For those of you listening and waiting on your elected officials to lead, you be the leader. Today at 7 p.m., the residents of the 8th Ward are holding our own town hall meeting because stalling and co-sponsoring the resolution today did not stop the carjackings that happened yesterday, will not stop them that's going to happen today, or those that are going to happen tomorrow. We urge you, Alderman Harris, to do your job and meet with your constituents. Thank you all for listening and have a safe and happy holiday.
Thank you, Ms. Hudson, for your comments. Your Honor, there are no further speakers who have timely signed up for the public comment period.
All right. Back up. This concludes the public comment period. We're now moving to resolutions. Today we have.
Madam President, this is Alderman Maldonado. Just want to be recognized as being present, please.
Thank you for joining us, Alderman Maldonado.
Thank you.
Your presence will be reflected as of this moment in the record. As I was stating, we are now moving on to resolutions. We have two resolutions today, a congratulatory retirement resolution for Tim Samuelson and a resolution to recognize International Day of Persons with Disabilities. The chair recognizes Alderman Mitchell. Alderman Mitchell, are you there? Alderman Harris, can I get a motion?
I'm experiencing technical difficulties.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Is there a motion, Alderman Mitchell?
Madam President, I move for temporary suspension of the rules for the immediate consideration of these resolutions.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. In the interest of respecting the time, we will forego the formal reading of the resolutions in their entirety and instead hear remarks from City Council. The first is a resolution congratulating Tim Samuelson, the city's cultural historian, on his retirement. I believe that Mr. Samuelson is with us today. Are there members that would like to speak to this resolution? The chair recognizes Chairman Dow.
Thank you, Madam President. Hi, Tim. I can't see you but I just want to wish you well. Very short comment. I want to wish you well in your retirement. I have three things I want to congratulate you on, or just thank you for. One, I want to thank you for raising up the history of the Black metropolis within the Department of Planning and Development in those days when it was not very fashionable to think about the Black metropolis as a historic district. I think that the knowledge that you presented and the enthusiasm that you showed was the difference between a historic district being sort of in the background and then moving to a more prominent position within the city of Chicago. And it was because of your work and the work of people in the community who you work so successfully with to get that done. The second thing I want to thank you for is for the long-running Bronzeville Exhibit that was in the Cultural Center, for making the history come alive and jump off the pages to thousands and hundreds of thousands of people who traverse that long corridor each and every day. I want to thank you for the personal tour that you gave me, for filling in the information that I might have been missing on some of the historical icons and events of the day. And so thank you for that. And I guess the third thing is to thank you for your tremendous support of the old Mid-South Planning and Development Commission and our work in trying to save the Supreme Life Building, the Overton Building, and the B Building. You will never be replaced, in my opinion, in the Department of Planning and Development or in the City of Chicago. Your genuine love for the history of the City of Chicago is apparent, and I just want to thank you for being a great public service and for lifting up our entire city. So good luck in the retirement. I'm not sure what you're going to do, but we'll miss you. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Alderman Dowell. The chair recognizes Alderman Ed Burke. Alderman Burke, you are still muted. Can you take yourself off? There you go.
I tried to unmute it now.
We can hear you now.
Madam President, thank you very much for initiating this recognition of Tim Samuelson. And as I was about to speak, I reached behind me for this book. Tim, you may remember that we published this book in 2009 on the 100th anniversary of the City Hall. Truly, Madam President and ladies and gentlemen of the council, when we recognized the assistance we received from Tim in the writing of this book, we were fully aware of the fact that Tim is what we say in the law, sui generis, one of a kind. If I could amend this resolution to provide that we create a historian emeritus and have it spread upon the permanent record of the proceedings, I would do so. But as I've come to know and observe Tim over the years, I think it's true to say that one of the last things he's ever sought is any kind of public recognition or adulation. He was always one of those typical Chicago officials who labored so long and well in the shadow of other people, never seeking any attention. So I wish, Tim, that I could get your contact information. I tried to reach you, but apparently you're not getting messages from the city phone. But would you email me or call me and let me know where you can be reached, because you are a remarkable Chicago figure that this is certainly well-deserved recognition. Again, Madam President, thank you for bringing this to the attention of the whole council.
Thank you, Alderman Burke. The chair recognizes Alderman Thompson.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam President. I too want to, Tim, thank you for your service to the city of Chicago, what you've done. It's important to study history and know whence we came. And Chicago has such a rich history, and you're a part of that. You provided that to our visitors, residents, and to all of Chicago. So on behalf of the residents of the 11th Ward, I want to thank you and congratulate you on your service. You're a credit to your family and a great public servant. And I wish you all the best going forward in your next endeavors, making more history. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Thompson. Are there others that care to speak? Going once, going twice. Tim, let me also add my voice to the congratulations. We haven't known each other long, but I've really come to depend upon you. As you know, from my various outreach to you over these last 18 months. I agree with all the words that have been said. You are truly a treasure to our city. And let me just say a few words about your background for those who don't know. You're a proud graduate of Sutherland High School, also attended Roosevelt University, and I will fast forward and say we should credit former Cultural Affairs Commissioner Lois Weisberg for recognizing in 2002 that you had something of incredible value to our city, and she then created the position of official cultural historian of the city of Chicago, and we've been the beneficiary of your love of the city, your encyclopedic knowledge of Chicago history ever since. A few highlights, and I won't be able to do it justice, but I do think it's important to note that over your 18-year career as Chicago's first and only cultural historian, you had a hand in preserving or restoring the lobby of Union Station, chess records on South Michigan Avenue, Pilgrim Baptist Church, and various other sites in Bronzeville to vital to Black history, Walt Disney's birthplace in Hermosa, the American School of Correspondence, and the Roby House in Hyde Park, along with the Waller Apartments in East Garfield Park and the old Carson Perry Scott building in downtown Chicago, just to name a few. You will be greatly missed. You are irreplaceable. Luckily, I do have your cell phone number and intend to make liberal use of it. Tim, thank you on a job well done. Congratulations. We wish you a happy retirement. And maybe Alderman Burke, we will take you up on your suggestion to appoint Tim as cultural historian emeritus. He has generously agreed to be available to us even in his retirement. So Tim, thank you very much. Is there a motion to suspend the rules and allow Tim Samuelson to have the floor to say whatever remarks he would like in passing?
So moved, Madam President.
So moved by Alderman Dow. Hearing no objection. Tim, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much to everybody. And this has been a dream job. And it's easy to have a dream job when you have great material to work with, and that's the city of Chicago. And working with many of you, it has been just a total delight, and I've enjoyed sharing what I can. Now, I'm not going anywhere as far as Chicago goes. Everything's still up here, and it is available for anyone that wants to check in with me, kick some ideas around, ask a question. I'm not giving up on any of it. I'm there for all of you. I thank everyone for an amazing number of years in one of the best jobs, the best city you could ever have. And my heartfelt thanks to everybody. And I take it seriously. I'm here. Reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. All right. The second resolution is a recognition of International Day of Persons with Disabilities. And we'll go straight to remarks. Alderman Mitchell, can I get a motion for passage of, let me ask first, are there any members of the body that would like to speak to this resolution? If so, please raise your hand in the chat box. Let me just add a few words. We've made tremendous progress in the city of Chicago in understanding and recognizing disabilities. And disabilities, as you well know, comes in many forms. Some are physical disabilities, some are others. But it is important on this day when people all across the world are recognizing International Day of Persons with Disabilities, that we take this time to pause, to recognize that we have a significant number of people within the city of Chicago who have disabilities and who are living very fulfilled lives in spite of that fact. I see that Alderman Matt O'Shea would like to be recognized. Alderman O'Shea, please, the chair recognizes you.
Thank you, Madam President.
I too would like to stand in support of this resolution. Alderman Burke could tell us a little bit about the history of persons with disabilities. The Special Olympics movement started here through his wife, the Honorable Supreme Court Justice Ann Burke, 53 years ago. Of the many things we're very proud of in our city, I think that is at the top of the list. Special Olympics started right here in Chicago at Soldier Field. And Madam President, I'd like to thank you for your efforts to support that important mission and supporting all people with disabilities. But thank you for recognizing such an important event. And we should all do as much as we can for the movement of Special Olympics. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman O'Shea. The chair recognizes Alderman Burke. Alderman, you're still muted. There you go.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. And Alderman O'Shea is being somewhat modest. I hope our colleagues understand that he is currently the president of Special Children's Charities, doing a remarkable job in helping to ensure the continued growth and success of that movement. I suppose I might even suggest that the term people with disabilities might better be phrased people with special abilities. That's actually what the movement did beginning in 1968, when, as some of us can remember, people that suffered with what some people call disabilities couldn't occupy a role out there in the society that all of us enjoyed. But beginning in 1968, with the help of Eunice Kennedy Shriver and the Kennedy family, the whole attitude towards these people with special abilities changed. And in fact, today it is the largest movement in the entire world to help expose people with these special abilities to the opportunities that other people took for granted. And that germ of development began here in the city of Chicago. Alderman O'Shea mentioned that it began at Soldier Field, and certainly it'd be, I think, an additional remark that Matt would direct to the beautiful Richard Hunt sculpture that exists on the north side of Soldier Field that has a eternal flame commemorating the beginning of Special Olympics and that worldwide movement today that began here in Chicago in 1968. If not for Mayor Richard J. Daley and his support, Dan Shannon and his support, and so many others who have gone on to their eternal rewards, the millions of people that benefit from Special Olympics today would not have that opportunity. So thanks, Alderman O'Shea, for reminding me that I should add a word or two to this resolution. Thank you, Madam President. And let's hope that the next 53 years of Special Olympics will be as successful as the past 53 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Burke. The chair recognizes Alderman LaSpada.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to rise in support of this resolution and particularly recognize the organizers and activists of Chicago within the disability community. Particularly, I want to call out Adam Ballard and Kathleen O'Brien for their work in opening my eyes and the eyes of so many others to the very real struggles that disabled Chicagoans face. The lack of access to so much of our public transportation system, the continuing fight for them to have housing that is both fully accessible and deeply affordable. That work continues, and I'm so glad that so many within the disability community lead on that work. I want to call out that the victories in this city that have been won for the disability community have been won by the disability community. Folks who have literally laid their bodies on the line for the Chicago that I stand in honor of them, the privilege of working with them, and knowing that we're going to continue to work for a city that is fully accessible and meets the needs of everyone with a disability. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Laspada. The chair recognizes Alderman Cardenas.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I wasn't going to say anything, but I think that I want to just give kudos to you for bringing these resolutions. They're so important to give us an insight of history. And obviously, Alderman Burke, such an encyclopedic knowledge of the city and so many things that have happened here and continue to happen. Such a tumultuous year and historic as well that keeps us in mind and why we celebrate and these folks like Tim Samuelson, like John Vinci, and thanks Lois Weisberg for having the wisdom to appointing him to his current job. But again, just kudos to you for bringing this to us and give us an understanding of why history is important and to keep our own culture in the city so precious. So thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Cardenas. I will just say that as a child of a parent with a disability, disability inclusion is very personal to me. I watched my father struggle to the day he died because of his disability. The economic opportunities that were denied and the daily slights and exclusions that people with disabilities have to suffer through every single day. As we need to make sure that we understand and continue to challenge ourselves to do better in this city. And really, my father's experience is one of the things that made me become an advocate and subsequently a lawyer. International Day of Persons with Disabilities provides every Chicagoan with the opportunity to reflect on our shared obligation and commitment to realizing the rights of persons with disabilities as a matter of basic fairness and justice, and that we have to do more as a community to continue to break down barriers. So I am pleased and grateful to join the body in support of this resolution. Alderman Mitchell, can I get a motion for passage of the resolutions?
Madam President, I move passage of the two resolutions in the omnibus.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. Alderman Mitchell, is there a motion to return to regular order of business?
Yeah, I now move we return to the regular order of business.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. Madam Clerk, we're now on communications. Please read the communications that have come to you.
Series of communications from Her Honor the Mayor to the Honorable the City Council of the City of Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of the Comptroller, I transmit herewith an ordinance designating municipal depositories for 2021. Favorable consideration of these ordinances will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Laura E. Lightfoot, Mayor. Referred to the Committee on Finance. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of the Commissioner of Transportation, I transmit herewith an ordinance authorizing execution of an intergovernmental agreement with Metra. Your favorable consideration of this ordinance will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Laura E. Lightfoot, Mayor. Referred to the Committee on Finance. Commissioner of Aviation, I transmit herewith an ordinance authorizing the renewal of an intergovernmental agreement with the Midway Noise Compatibility Commission. The favorable consideration of this ordinance will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori D. Lightfoot, Mayor. Referred to Committee on Aviation. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of Commissioner of Aviation, I transmit herewith an ordinance authorizing the renewal of an intergovernmental agreement with the O'Hare Noise Compatibility Commission. Favorable consideration of this ordinance will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori E. Lightfoot, Mayor. Referred to the Committee on Aviation. Ladies and gentlemen, the request of the Budget Director, I transmit herewith a Fund 925 amendment. Your favorable consideration of this ordinance be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori E. Lightfoot, Mayor. Refer to the Committee on Budget and Government Operations. Ladies and gentlemen, the request of the Commissioner of Planning and Development, I transmit herewith an ordinance authorizing a Class 6B tax status for property located at 825 South Kilpatrick Avenue. The favorable consideration of this ordinance will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. Refer to the Committee on Economic, Capital, and Technology Development. Ladies and gentlemen, the request of the Commissioner of Planning and Development, I transmit herewith an ordinance authorizing a Class 6B tax status for property located at 4118-4138 West Lake Street. Your favorable consideration of this ordinance be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. Refer to the Committee on Economic, Capital, and Technology Development. Ladies and gentlemen, the request of the Commissioner of Planning and Development, I transmit herewith an ordinance authorizing a Class 6B tax status for property located at 2075 West 43rd Street. The favorable consideration of this ordinance be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. Refer to the Committee on Economic, Capital, and Technology Development. Ladies and gentlemen, the request of the Commissioner of Planning and Development, I transmit herewith an ordinance authorizing a Class L tax status for property located at 225 West Randolph Street. The favorable consideration of this ordinance be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. Refer to the Committee on Economic, Capital, and Technology Development. Ladies and gentlemen, the request of the Commissioner of Family and Support Services, I transmit herewith a new agreement with Northwestern University to access platform to support innovative learning opportunities for youth. The favorable consideration of this ordinance will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. Refer to the Committee on Education and Child Development. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of the Commissioner of Public Health, I transmit here with an ordinance increasing fines for air pollution and fugitive dust violations. Your favorable consideration of this ordinance be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. Refer to the Committee on Environmental Protection and Energy. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of Commissioner of Planning and Development, I transmit here with an ordinance authorizing the acquisition of property 8840, 8844, 8850, and 8854 South Commercial Avenue. The favorable consideration of this ordinance will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. Referred to the Committee on Housing and Real Estate. Ladies and gentlemen, the request of Commissioner of Assets, Information, and Services, I transmit herewith an ordinance authorizing the execution of a lease agreement with Better RX Inc. for use as a pharmacy. The favorable consideration of this ordinance will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. Refer to the Committee on Housing and Real Estate. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of Commissioner of Assets, Information, and Services, I transmit herewith an ordinance authorizing the execution of a renewal lease agreement with Heartland International Health Center. The favorable consideration of this ordinance be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. Refer to the Committee on Housing and Real Estate. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of the Commissioner of Housing, I transmit here with an ordinance authorizing the execution of amended redevelopment agreement for the Third Ward Parade of Homes program. The favorable consideration of this ordinance be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. Refer to the Committee on Housing and Real Estate. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of the Commissioner of Housing, I transmit here with an ordinance authorizing the execution of loan agreements, Lazarus Renewal 2 LLC. The favorable consideration of this ordinance be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. Refer to the Committee on Housing and Real Estate. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of the Mayor's Office of New Americans, I transmit herewith it together with Alderman Rodriguez, Sanchez, and Ramirez Rosa, an ordinance amending Chapter 2-173 of the Municipal Code of Chicago. Favorable consideration of this ordinance to be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. Refer to the Committee on Immigrant and Refugee Rights.
Public Safety.
With two committee, Peter?
Two committees called, the matters referred to the Committee on Committees and Rules.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of the Commissioner of Planning and Development, I transmit here with an ordinance authorizing the expenditure of open space impact fees and associated acceptance of parcels within Indian Ridge Marsh. Your favorable consideration of this ordinance would be appreciated. Very truly yours, Laura E. Lightfoot, Mayor. Refer to the Committee on Special Events, Cultural Affairs, and Recreation. Ladies and gentlemen, at the request of Commissioners of Housing and Planning and Development, I transmit here with ordinances providing for anti-displacement measure for residents. The favorable consideration of these ordinances will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. Refer to the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Ladies and gentlemen, I transmit here with appointments to various special service areas. Your favorable consideration of these appointments will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. Refer to the Committee on Economic, Capital, and Technology Development. Ladies and gentlemen, I transmit here with appointments to Chicago Community Land Trust Board. The Favorable consideration of these appointments will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. For the Committee on Housing and Real Estate. Ladies and gentlemen, I transmit here with appointments on the Low Income Housing Trust Fund Board. Your favorable consideration of these appointments will be appreciated. Very truly yours, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor. For the Committee on Housing and Real Estate. I, City Clerk Anna Valencia, hereby inform the City Council that the following document was filed in my office. Inspector General Audit's report concerning the Department of Streets and Sanitation, commercial and high-density residential buildings recycling enforcement. I, City Clerk Valencia, also informed the City Council that all those matters which were considered by the City Council at the regular meeting held on November 24th, 2020, which were required by statute be published in book or pamphlet form, or in one or more newspapers, were published in pamphlet form on December 16th, 2020, by being printed in full text and print pamphlet copies and adjourning proceedings of the City Council of the City of Chicago. I also informed the City Council that the ordinances authorizing the issuance of City of Chicago general obligation bonds and additional sales tax obligations for various purposes and the levy and collection of direct annual taxes which were passed by the City Council on November 24, 2020, and which was requested to be published in a special pamphlet form, was published in special pamphlet form on December 3rd, 2020. I, City Clerk Valencia, also transmit herewith the following miscellaneous communications and reports requiring City Council action. Zoning reclassifications of particular areas which are referred to the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards, claims against the City of Chicago which are referred to the Committee on Finance, amendment of Municipal Code Section 3-56-500 by extending standard veteran license pilot program until July 31st, 2022, which is referred to the Committee on the Budget and Government Operations. Recommendation by Commission on Chicago Landmarks for designation of Perkins Nordane House at 6106 North Kenmore Avenue, a Chicago landmark, which is referred to the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Recommendation by Commission on Chicago Landmarks for designation of Emmett Till and Mammy Till Mobley House at 6427 South Lawrence Avenue as a Chicago landmark, which is referred to the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Recommendation by the Commission on Chicago Landmarks for designation of Illinois Bell Building at 225 West Randolph Street as a Chicago landmark, which is referred to the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Your Honor, that concludes mayoral and clerk communications.
Yeah. Next up is the committee reports. We'll start with the Committee on Finance. Chairman Wagasback.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm reporting for the City Council's Committee on Finance, which met on December 14, 2020. Item number 1 on the agenda is an ordinance authorizing redevelopment and loan agreements with, and the issuance is up to $12 million in multifamily housing revenue bonds for Paseo Boricua Arts, LLC, for the construction of affordable housing at 2709 to 2715 West Division Street in the 26th Ward. The item was approved by the committee by voice vote, but if no one wishes to speak on this matter, I move to concur with the recommendation of the committee by a roll call vote.
Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Alderman LaSpada.
Aye.
Alderman LaSpada is an aye. Alderman Hopkins.
Aye.
Alderman Hopkins is an aye. Alderman Dow.
Aye.
Alderman Dow is an aye. Alderman King. Aye. Alderman King is an aye. Alderman Hairston.
Aye.
Alderman Hairston is an aye. Alderman Sawyer.
Aye.
Alderman Sawyer is an aye. Alderman Mitchell.
Aye.
Alderman Mitchell is an aye. Alderman Harris.
Aye.
Alderman Harris is an aye. Alderman Beal.
Yep.
Alderman Beal is an aye. Alderman Zalewski Garza.
Aye.
Alderman Zalewski Garza is an aye. Alderman Thompson.
Aye.
Alderman Thompson is an aye. Alderman Cardenas.
Aye.
Alderman Cardenas is an aye. Alderman Quinn.
Aye.
Alderman Quinn is an aye. Alderman Burke.
Aye.
Alderman Burke is an aye. Alderman Lopez.
Aye.
Alderman Lopez is an aye. Alderman Coleman.
Aye.
Alderman Coleman is an aye. Alderman Moore.
Aye.
Alderman Moore is an aye. Alderman Curtis.
Aye.
Alderman Curtis is an aye. Alderman O'Shea.
Aye.
Alderman O'Shea is an aye. Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor is an aye. Alderman Brookins.
Aye.
Alderman Brookins is an aye. Alderman Rodriguez.
Aye.
Alderman Rodriguez is an aye. Alderman Tabarez.
Aye.
Alderman Tabarez is an aye. Alderman Scott.
Aye.
Alderman Scott is an aye. Alderman Cicho Lopez.
Aye.
Alderman Cicho Lopez is an aye. Alderman Maldonado.
Aye.
Alderman Maldonado is an aye. Alderman Burnett.
Aye.
Alderman Burnett is an aye. Alderman Irvin.
Aye.
Alderman Irvin is an aye. Alderman Talaferro.
Aye.
Alderman Talaferro is an aye. Alderman Raboyes.
Aye.
Alderman Raboyes is an aye. Alderman Cardona.
Aye.
Alderman Cardona is an aye. Alderman Ragaspack.
Aye.
Alderman Ragaspack is an aye. Alderman Rodriguez Sanchez.
Aye.
Alderman Rodriguez Sanchez is an aye. Alderman Austin.
Aye.
Alderman Austin is an aye. Alderman Ramirez Rosa.
Aye.
Alderman Ramirez Rosa is an aye. Alderman Villegas.
Aye.
Alderman Villegas is an aye. Alderman Mitz.
Aye.
Alderman Mitz is an aye. Alderman Spasado.
Nick Spasato's an aye.
Alderman Spasado is an aye. Alderman Nugent.
Aye.
Alderman Nugent is an aye. Alderman Vasquez.
Aye.
Alderman Vasquez is an aye. Alderman Napolitano.
Aye.
Alderman Napolitano is an aye. Alderman Riley.
Aye.
Alderman Riley is an aye. Alderman Smith.
Aye.
Alderman Smith is an aye. Alderman Tunney.
Aye.
Alderman Tunney is an aye. Alderman Gardner.
Aye.
Alderman Gardner is an aye. Alderman Kappelman.
Aye.
Alderman Kappelman is an aye. Alderman Martin.
Aye.
Alderman Martin is an aye. Alderman Osterman.
Aye.
Alderman Osterman is an aye. Alderman Haddon.
Aye.
Alderman Haddon is an aye. Alderman Silverstein.
Aye.
Alderman Silverstein is an aye. Peter?
Your Honor, there are 50 yeas, no nays.
Thank
Madam
you.
President.
Please mute your phone. Thank you. Alderman
President.
Thompson. Alderman Thompson on the motion for reconsideration. Alderman Thompson, you're still on. Alderman Thompson, you're still on mute.
Unmute. Okay. Hello?
There you go. There you go.
Sorry. Sorry, Madam President. I motion to reconsider that first vote of the Finance Committee.
All those in favor of the motion for reconsideration signify by saying aye. Those opposed say nay.
Nay.
The motion for reconsideration is denied. Chairman Wagasback, back to you.
Thank you, Madam President. Item 2 is an ordinance authorizing the issuance of bond inducement language regarding tax-exempt housing revenue bonds issuance for the acquisition and development of properties at 1800 to 1812 West Roosevelt Road and 1801 Greenshaw Street by the Chicago Lighthouse Residences 4 LLC. The forthcoming issuance will be for up to $7 million in tax-exempt housing revenue bonds. This item was approved by the committee by the roll call used to establish quorum, with the exception that Alderman Austin was recorded as a no vote and would like that reflected in the record here today. If no one wishes to speak on this matter, I move passage by the first most favorable roll call vote on the Committee on Finance report and the corresponding unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
Thank you. Item number 3 is an ordinance authorizing the City of Chicago to enter into and execute redevelopment and subordination agreements with Greater Auburn Gresham Development Corporation and Greater Auburn Gresham Support Corporation, supported by tax increment financing, and a master lease for office space and build-outs at 839 to 845 West 79th Street. The item was approved by the committee by the roll call vote used to establish quorum. If no one wishes to speak on this matter, I move passage by the first most favorable roll call vote on the Committee on Finance report and the corresponding unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no I'm sorry. The chair recognizes Alderman David Moore.
Thank you, Madam President. First of all, I have to say thank you to Carlos Nelson, GAGDC, the Greater Auburn Gresham Development Corporation. He's the executive director, his leadership and the vision for this. But you can have a vision, but if you don't have someone to help you reach that vision, it can sometimes, and have that vision come true, can sometimes be difficult. So to the mayor and her team, I want to thank you so much for your commitment to Invest Southwest. And this development here, as they were able to get some CARES Act monies, as well as they were able to win an award from I think it was the Pritzker Foundation to get some money from this, and then work with the city of Chicago to get TIF dollars to bring this development, this much needed development to the 79th Street corridor, which is then also sparking other development along that corridor. So your commitment, Mayor, to invest Southwest and doing the things that we need to bring development to our community, this is just one part of that that will make a difference for our entire city. So I just want to say thank everyone that's a part of this as we bring this to fruition. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alderman Moore. I believe there's a pending motion. Chairman Wagesback. And go ahead. You want to renew the motion?
Yes, if and no one else wishes to speak, I move passage by the first most favorable roll call vote of the Committee on Finance report and the corresponding unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Thank you. Item number 4 is an ordinance authorizing the Department of Housing to enter into and execute an intergovernmental agreement with the Illinois Housing Development Authority to reallocate a portion of the city's unused tax-exempt bond volume cap for 2020 to facilitate financing of affordable housing or qualifying mortgage loans by IDA. The item was approved by the committee by the roll call vote used to establish quorum. And if there's no one that wishes to speak on this matter, I move passage by the first most favorable roll call vote of the Committee on Finance report and the corresponding unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Thank you. And Madam President, item 5 is an ordinance authorizing the Department of Water Management to enter into a preliminary water supply agreement with the City of Joliet. The item was approved by the committee by the roll call vote used to establish quorum in the committee. And if no one wishes to speak on the matter, I move passage by the first most favorable roll call vote of the Committee on Finance report and the corresponding unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Madam President, item number 6 is an ordinance authorizing the Department of Planning to execute the 59th amending agreement with Summer Corps 504 Incorporated as administrator, authorizing tax increment financing to TIF, SPIF new project areas of 51st Archer and Stevenson Brighton redevelopment or development areas and various established small business improvement funds. The item was approved by the committee by the roll call vote used to establish quorum, with the exception that Alderman Lopez voted no. If no one else wishes to speak on this matter, I move passage by the first most favorable roll call vote of the Committee on Finance report and the corresponding unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
The chair recognizes Alderman Lopez.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Madam President. I wish to be recorded as no on this item as well. As reported before the full council, I just want to reiterate my objections that I made in the council and the committee, that many of the things that we are looking at are long-term, do not necessarily help our businesses in the here and now. The $60 million that we're being asked to give to this program, and ask that DPD further continue the discussion on how to help our businesses get through COVID, not just plan for after COVID. Thank you, Madam President.
There's a pending motion. Alderman Lopez's objection is noted. Hearing no further objection, so ordered.
Thank you. Item number 7 is a re-referral of a proposed ordinance amending the municipal code by adding new chapter 3-10 to a joint committee of the Committee on Finance and Budget and Government Operations. The re-referral was approved by the committee by the roll call used to establish quorum, with the exception that Alderman Lopez would like to be recorded, voted no, and would like to be recorded as voting no. If no one wishes to speak on the matter, I move passage by the first most favorable roll call vote on the Committee on Finance report and the corresponding unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Madam President, item number 8 is regarding monthly settlements through the Law Department. These will be placed on file with the clerk. Items 9 and 10 consist of authorizations for the payment of various small claims against the city and denials of payments of various small claims against the city. If there's no objection, I ask that these items be placed on the omnibus.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Item number 11 consists of 3 orders authorizing the Corporation Council to enter into and execute settlement orders in the cases of A11A, Jamel Island, Trezell Island, and Janelle Island versus City of Chicago in the amount of $295,000. B, Patrick Bowden versus City of Chicago and City of Chicago et al., cited as 20C0929 in the amount of $162,500. And C, Denigma Howard versus City of Chicago et al., cited as 19C1281 in the amount of $300,000. 11A through C were approved by the committee by the roll call used to establish quorum with the following exceptions. On item 11B, Alderman Napolitano voted no and would like to be recorded as no here. And on, Alderman Cardona and Alderman Haddon would like to be recorded as voting no on 11C. And unless there are other aldermen who wish to be recorded no, I move passage by the first most favorable roll call vote of the Committee on Finance report and the corresponding unsuccessful motion to reconsider with these exceptions.
The chair recognizes Alderman Lopez.
Thank you, Madam President. I wish to be recorded no on item C as well.
Alderman Lopez, I don't know if you're able to hear Chairman Wegesbach, but he does note your objections as part of his committee report. If he didn't note the objection regarding item B, that is now noted as soon as he speaks it. But we will make sure that we now have double, triple regarding your objection.
Madam President, I think Alderman Lopez, was that item C?
Objection to item B, was for item C.
Do you?
Alderman, I couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry, Alderman, we're having difficulty hearing you. Are you asking to be recorded as a no on item C as well? Is that what you're saying, or item B?
Only C.
Only C.
I did not have an objection to B.
Okay.
Thank you. The chair recognizes Alderman Vasquez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd also like to be recorded as a no on item C.
So noted. The chair recognizes Alderman Siccho Lopez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also like to be recognized as a no for item 11C.
So noted. The chair recognizes Alderman Cardenas.
Thank you, Madam President. I believe this item was debated in finance, and understandably, some of my colleagues are voting no on that. I think reforms are in order in terms of contact in the school system as much. I support it because I think you're minimizing risk for the taxpayers, but you have a long ways to go to minimize the risk for taxpayers even further by not actually having these cases be brought up against the city. And thank you for those remarks.
Thank you, Alderman Cardenas. The chair recognizes Alderman Haddon.
Thank you, Madam President. And thank you, Chairman Wegesbach, for recording my no vote. Just to comment on this, I appreciate Alderman Cardenas's point, of course, of looking at economic liability to the city, and also especially given light of the case of Ms. Anjanette Young. We have so far to go as a city, and I find it very, very disturbing the situation we find ourselves in with, as a city, our law department asking people to settle when great harm has been done to them, especially when that harm is done to Black women, people of color, disabled people, and other marginalized populations. So this no vote is a recognizing that Ms. Howard deserves more than what we are giving and asking her to settle for. Thank you.
So I feel compelled in light of the last comment to say this. All of these plaintiffs have lawyers and are represented by counsel. We deal with counsel as an ethical responsibility. We never deal directly with the plaintiffs. And in many instances, and I don't know the circumstances underlying these three cases, but in many instances, the plaintiffs' lawyers themselves come to the law department asking for settlement. So I don't think it's accurate or fair for comments to say that we are, in effect, forcing plaintiffs to settle. The courts are open. If plaintiffs do not want to settle, they should not. And that is the advice that plaintiffs' counsel has to have in conversation with their client. So I think it's, if you want to dig down into the details of each of these, you should, but a blanket condemnation of the law department, which the last comment suggested, I think is irresponsible and frankly, and based on my experience, wildly inaccurate.
I agree, Madam President.
I don't know who that comment was, but
Alderman Austin.
yeah, thank you, Alderman.
Alderman Sposato too agrees with you.
I see that.
Madam President.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
But there's somebody who's raised their hand. Alderman Sigcho Lopez, briefly.
A bit brief, but I also feel compelled to comment in light of the cases of police brutality that we continue to see across the city. In the case of Ms. Young, I do think it's important that the city recognizes that we have a systemic issue with police brutality. Ms. Young called out the police 43 times to denounce that this was an illegal and wrong, mistaken raid in her house. So again, I feel compelled.
Alderman, I'm sorry.
I have my 5 minutes. Madam Chair, I have 5 minutes. I have 5 minutes. You commented. I also
we have three matters that are up on before the council. You have three matters that are up before the council. Those are the three matters that are before the council. If you want to talk about a separate issue, there will be a time and a place for that, but you are out of order, sir. We have
I'm
three
not
issues.
in order. I have my,
You are out of
according
order.
to rules, I have time to comment, Madam Chair. You have your time to comment. I have my 5 minutes comment, Madam Chair. And as I said, I do think that when you talk about ethics, it is very important that we do indeed talk about ethics. It was unacceptable what we saw in the media last night. I think it's urgent. And I think if there's a time and a place, I do hope, and I hold you accountable, Mayor, to have a hearing on the matter on the Public Safety Committee and the Health Committee, because the public deserves an explanation of what happened and why the law department was trying to sue the plaintiff because she was trying to make this public as is her right. So again, Madam Chair, with all due respect, let's talk about ethics. Let's talk about ethics and accountability.
You do not know the facts, but that doesn't let you stop you from making wildly inaccurate comments. We will be addressing this issue in total after the city council meeting, but I would appreciate if you and others who have an interest in this, as everyone should, because the images portrayed on that video were upsetting, no question whatsoever. But what I would ask you is to actually get the facts, sir. You spend a significant amount of your time talking about issues for which you have no facts. And that is highly problematic. It is irresponsible. It undermines your fiduciary responsibility.
Out of order.
Not only to the council,
This is out of order.
but to the larger city of Chicago. You are out of order. I allowed you to make a comment. We have three issues that are up right now.
Madam President, personal attacks on members of this body is out of order.
I assume that's Alderman.
Not a personal attack.
Madam President, can we go? Madam President.
I'm asking all. Hold on one second.
Facts aren't personal attacks.
Hold on, folks. Facts are always relevant. And Alderman Sigcho Lopez, anybody else who wants to talk about the matter that's been portrayed in the public, what I'd ask you to do is actually get the facts. We have a city council meeting. There are three matters that are up. Those are the three matters that we're talking about right now. If anybody else wants to speak on those three matters that are before the body, then I will recognize you. Outside of that, you are out of order. Chairman Wagasback, you have a motion.
Yes, Madam President, I'm going to renew my motion with the exception, read the exceptions here today on these three cases, just items A, B, and C that were mentioned. On item B, the Bowden case, Alderman Napolitano would like to be recorded as no. On item C, in the Howard case, I have Alderman Lopez, Vasquez, Sigcho Lopez, Cardenas, I'm sorry, not Cardenas, Cardona, and Haddon voting no. And I renew my motion.
With those no votes noted, hearing no further objection, the motion is granted.
Madam President, this concludes the report of the Committee on Finance.
Alderman Dow, Committee on Budget.
Thank you, Madam President and members of the City Council. Reporting for your Committee on the Budget and Government Operations, which held a meeting on December 9th, 2020. The committee recommends passage of the following items. Item number 1, an ordinance concerning the First Amendment to Intergovernmental Agreement with the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago for the extension of time to complete flood protection and runoff reduction pilot study in the Chatham area covering the 6th, 8th, and 9th wards. I move passage of the item by the first favorable roll call vote of the Committee on Finance and the associated unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Madam President, the second item on the agenda is an ordinance introduced by Alderman Tom Tunney of the 44th Ward, approving the transfer of funds within the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards for the year 2020. Same motion if there is no objection.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
That concludes my report, Madam President. Thank you.
The next committee is the Committee on Rules. Chairman Harris.
Thank you, Madam President. Reporting for your Committee on Committee Rules, which met Friday, December 11th, 2020 at 10 a.m. The committee recommends the passage of the following items. Item 1 is a correction of the journal proceedings for September 9th, 2020. I move passage of this item by the first most favorable roll call of the Committee on Finance and the unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Item 2 is a proposed ordinance amending Municipal Code Section 3-8-050 to recognize the deaths of Chicago police officers, firefighters, paramedics, emergency medical technicians from COVID-19 as presumed contracted while in the performance of their duties. The committee recommend that this item be referred to the Committee on Budget and Governmental Operations. I move passage of this recommendation by the same motion if there's no objections.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Item 3 is a proposed resolution calling for the establishment of the Chicago Police Personnel and Resource Reallocation Pilot Program. The committee recommends that this item be referred to the Committee on Public Safety. I move passage of the recommendation by the same motion if there's no objections.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
And the final item is a proposed resolution calling for hearings on expanded community-based domestic, sexual, and gender-based violence prevention programming. The committee recommended that this item be re-referred public safety with the chief sponsor's approval. I move passage of this recommendation by the same motion if there's no objections.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Madam President, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Chairman Harris. Next
you.
is the Committee on Contracting Oversight. Chairman Austin. Madam Chairman, you're still muted.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to be called in on the last end. I left the notes, so I will get them before you finish committee hearings.
All right, I will move you to the bottom, sir, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next up is the Committee on Economic, Capital, and Technology Development. Chairman Villegas.
Morning, Madam President, and members of the City Council. Reporting for the Committee on Economic, Capital, and Technology Development, which held a meeting on December 7th, 2020, and reconvened on December 14th. The committee recommends passage of the following items. Items 1 through 10 are a series of appointments to various special service areas. Justin Fedek, Marianne Serapis, and George Revelidis as members of the SSA number 16 Greektown Halstead Commission. Elizabeth Fald as member of SSA North Halstead Commission. Holly S. Loderick and Jonathan Gordon as members of SSA number 23 Clark Street Lincoln Park Commission. Paul Purell as member of SSA number 48 Old Town Commission. And Nancy Stanek, Gregory Gutman, and George Rumsey as members of SSA number 61, Hyde Park Commission. I move passage of these items by the first favorable roll call vote of the Committee on Finance and the associated unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Items 11 through 62 and item 64 are a series of ordinances for tax levies, scope of services, budgets, and management agreements for each special service area with the following distinctions. Item 43 is an ordinance for the enlargement of boundaries, extended tax levy period, scope of additional special services, budget and management agreement for special service area number 19, Howard Street Commission. Item 54 is an ordinance for the extension on an imposition of tax levy period, increase of tax levy, scope of services, budget and management agreement for special service area number 54, Sheridan Road Commission. Item 58 is an ordinance for the establishment special service area number 75, Oak Street, authorization of tax levy, scope of services, budget and management agreement. And item 59 is an ordinance for the amendment of the tax levy, scope of services, budget and management agreement for special service area number 16, Greek Halstead Commission. And please let it be noted that Alderman Burke will abstain from voting on items 12 and 31. The Greater Southwest Development Association is the service provider for both special service areas. Within the preceding 12 months, Alderman Burke practiced law with other attorneys in a law firm. Other attorneys in the firm represented Greater Southwest Development Association with the preceding 12 months in property tax appeals at the Cook County Assessor, Cook County Board of Review, and Illinois Property Tax Appeal Board relating to various properties. I move passage of these items by the same motion if there is no objection.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
The following items are being held in committee. Ordinance 202-5896 and 02-0-870. Thank you, Madam President. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Chairman Villegas. Next is the Committee on Housing and Real Estate, Chairman Osterman.
Thank you, Madam President, and members of the City Council. Reporting for your Committee on Housing and Real Estate, which held a virtual meeting on December 8th. The committee has a series of reports recommending passage of the following. Item number 1 is a loan agreement with North Park Village LP, an associated ground lease agreement with EHDOC North Park Village Charitable Corp. for a portion of North Park campus to develop affordable elderly housing in Building H at 5801 North Pulaski. Alderman Samantha Nugent would like to be recognized on this, and after that, I would like to move passage of this first item by the first favorable roll call, the Committee on Finance and associated unsuccessful motion to reconsider. But Alderman Nugent wanted to be recognized.
The chair recognizes Alderman Nugent.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to thank Commissioner Navarra and Jim O'Connell from Housing for helping with this project. The North Park Village campus truly is a crown jewel of the Northwest side. This village once served as a municipal tuberculosis sanatorium. So the campus now has beautiful green space, a waterfall, parks, trails, and is home to many seniors. The historic buildings on the campus were converted to the North Park Village senior apartments, offering affordable senior housing options for seniors from across the city. Today's ordinance charts the course for the final building to get much needed renovations, upgrades, and historic preservation. In October 2019, I met with the seniors who call this building home and brought partners together from housing, DPD, AIS, and the Park District to talk about the future of their building and the hopes for the rehab. Now, over a year later, we are one step closer to ensuring these seniors have the security of nice, safe, clean, and well-maintained apartments. Just this summer, I'm so proud that we as a council moved an ordinance to ensure that the land of North Park Village will forever be protected by a conservation easement. Today, I'm asking for your support for affordable senior housing and the renovation of the Building H. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.
There's a pending motion and no objection, so ordered.
Thank you. Item number 2 is amendment to the Municipal Code sections 2-44-090 and 2-44-100 to extend the duration of the near north, near west, and Milwaukee corridor affordable housing pilot area ordinances until June 30th, 2021. I make the same motion if there's no objection.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Item number 3 is a negotiated sale of vacant city-owned property at 4444 South St. Lawrence to Rosemary Weish. I make the same motion if there's no objection.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Item number 4 is the sale of city-owned property at 4918 West Adams Street to David Hickman. I make the same motion if there's no objection.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Item number 5 is a negotiated sale of vacant properties at 11700, 11702, 11708 South Buffalo Avenue, and 11701 South Burley Avenue to NP Avenue O LLC. I make the same motion if there's no objection.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Madam President, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next up is the Committee on License and Consumer Protection. Chairman Mitz.
Thank you, Madam President and members of the City Council. I'm reporting for the Committee on License and Consumer Protection. We held a virtual meeting on December the 9th, 2020, and the following items were passed by the committee. Item number 02020-5783, an ordinance authorizing issuing of various temporary relief measures to business. Office of the Mayor, Department of Business and Consumer Protection, Alderman Mitz, Hopkins, Harris, Cardenas, Burnett, Smith, Gardner, Kappelman, and Martin. Madam President, I would like to be able to speak on this matter if none of my colleagues wish to speak at this time. If not,
please proceed, Chairman Mitz.
Thank you. As the chairman of the City Council Committee on License and Consumer Protection, I stand in strong support of this ordinance, supporting the business community, struggling like so many other industries to survive the challenge caused by the global Corona-19 pandemic. And during our recent December 9th License Committee meeting, we had an opportunity to make a difference. We passed a key ordinance which provide a variety of temporary release measures to assist these businesses. Today, in view of the challenging economic climate, Chicago's business need our support more than ever. So I'm proud to have worked with you, Mayor Lightfoot, to provide an array of relief to the city business community. And I look forward to continuing to do everything in our power to deliver support. I move that the City Council concur in the recommendation of the License Committee and pass this item by the same roll call vote as item number 1 of the Committee on Finance report and the same unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Item number 2, 02020-5786, an ordinance authorized the execution of an agreement with the Chicago Cubs Baseball Club, LLC, Office of Mayor and Office of Budget and Management. I move passage of these items by the same motion if there's no objection.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
We have 3 ordinances regarding moratoriums in the various wards, the 27th, 38th, and the 40th ward. I move passage of these items by the same motion if there's no objection.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This concludes my report for the Committee on License and Consumer Protection.
All right, next up is the Committee on Pedestrian and Traffic Safety. Chairman Burnett.
Thank you, Madam President. Reporting for your Committee on Pedestrian and Traffic Safety, for which a meeting was held on Thursday, November 12th, 2020. Before the committee, there were 145 items. There were 145 routine traffic items that passed and 0 routine items that did not pass. I move for passage of these items in the omnibus. That concludes my report. Thank you, Madam President.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. Thank you, Chairman. Next is the Committee on Transportation and Public Way. Chairman Brookins.
Okay,
Good morning, Madam President and members of the City Council. First of all, I would like to say Merry Christmas to you and your family and all of the families of the members of the City Council. And may God keep you and keep you healthy and safe during this pandemic and throughout the holiday season. Reporting for your Committee on Transportation and Public Way, a meeting which was held on December 10th, 2020. The following ordinances were passed by a majority of the members present. Pages 2 through 16 include 179 ordinances for grants of privileges introduced by the local aldermen from wards 1 through 6, 8, 10 through 12, 14 through 15, 17, 19, 22, 25 through 32, and 35 through 50. Under Rule 14 of the Rules of Order and Procedure of the Chicago City Council, Alderman Burke abstains from voting on the following items: grants of privileges 02020-5666 and 02020-5595, 02020-5596, 02020-5593, 02020-5622, and 02020-5623 due to practicing law with other attorneys in a law firm. Other attorneys in the firm represented the American Dental Association, Michael and Michael Hare, and Northwestern Memorial Hospital within the preceding 12 months in property tax appeals at the Cook County Assessor, Cook County Board of Review, Circuit Court of Cook County, and the Illinois Property Tax Appeal Board relating to these properties. On page 17 include 10 ordinances for canopies introduced by the local alderman from wards 2, 6, 40, and 42. Pages 18 and 19 include one amendment and one ordinance for miscellaneous items introduced by local aldermen from wards 8, 17, 19, 27, 30, 32, 41, 45, and 47. On page 20 includes one vacation ordinance located in the 14th ward. On page 20 includes also one easement located in the 27th ward. There was also a subject matter hearing regarding renaming Lakeshore Drive. And if there's no vote was taken, and if there's no objection, I move passage of these items by the last most favorable roll call vote on the Committee on Finance and the associated unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Thank you very much, Madam President. That concludes my report.
Thank you, sir. Next up is the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Chairman Tunney.
Madam President and members of the City Council, presenting a series of reports for your Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards, which held a meeting on December 1st, 2020. These reports are grouped for convenience. The following items were passed by the majority of members present. Page 1 contains a text amendment of Municipal Code Section 16-8-070 to further regulate rezoning in conversion areas. I move passage of this item by the last most favorable roll call vote of the Finance Committee report and associated unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Pages 1 through 13 contain various map amendments in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 11th, 12th, 17th, 21st, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 35th, 38th, 40th, 41st, 42nd, 43rd, 44th, 46th, 47th, 48th, and 50th wards. I move passage of these items by the same motion if there is no objection, noting that Alderman Cicho Lopez and Alderman Rodriguez Sanchez would like to be recorded as voting no on document number 02023-3724 for the property commonly known as 2424 South Halsted Street.
With those,
Yeah, yes, Madam President.
with those objections noted, hearing no further objections, so ordered.
Next, page 13 contains 2 demolition orders for non-contributing buildings in the 46th Ward Uptown Square Historical District. I move passage of these items by the same motion if there is no objection.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
Page 14 contains various large signs over 100 square feet in area, 24 feet above grade in the 3rd, 13th, 18th, 20th, 22nd, 25th, 27th, 31st, 35th, 41st, 42nd, 43rd, 44th, 45th, and 50th wards. I move passage of these items by the same motion if there is no objection.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
Madam President, that concludes my first report. I'll move on to the second report. Madam President, members of the City Council, present a series of reports for your Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards, which held a meeting on December 15th, 2020. These reports are grouped for convenience. The following items were passed by the majority of members present. Page 1 contains a text amendment of Municipal Code Section 2-120-910 by modifying fines and remedies for disrepair of historical and architectural landmarks. I move passage of this item by the last most favorable roll call vote of the Finance Committee report and the associated unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
Pages 1 through 8 contain various map amendments in the 1st, 11th, 16th, 19th, 24th, 25th, 26th, 32nd, 34th, 35th, 36th, 41st, 43rd, 44th, 46th, 47th, 49th, and 50th wards. I move passage of these items by the same motion if there is no objection.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
Page 8 contains 1 historical landmark fee waiver for the property at 1035 South Claremont Avenue in the 28th Ward. I move passage of this item by the same motion if there is no objection.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
Page 8 contains 1 large sign over 100 square feet in area, 24 feet above grade in the 11th Ward at 645 West Roosevelt Road. I move passage of this item by the same motion if there is no objection.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
Madam President, that concludes the second page of my report. Moving on to the third. Madam President and members of the City Council, presenting a series of reports for your Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards, which held a meeting on December 1st, 2020. The committee considered 2 items which received do not pass recommendations. The first was document number 02019-3815, the historical landmark designation for the Pilsen Historic District, primarily West 18th Street from South Levitt Street to South Sangamon Street, and residential blocks bounded by 18th Street, South Ashland Avenue, West 21st Street, and South Racine Avenue. This ordinance received a do not pass recommendation from the committee by roll call vote of 0 yeas and 18 nays. The second item was document number 02020-4530, a call for a temporary moratorium on the issuance of complete demolition permits for applications filed on or after November 1st, 2020 within the Pilsen Historic District. This ordinance received a do not pass recommendation from the committee by roll call vote of 7 yeas and 11 nays. Madam President, that concludes my reports, I should say.
Thank you, Chairman Tunney. Next is the Joint Committee on Housing and Real Estate and Zoning, Landmark, and Building Standards.
Madam President and members of the City Council, presenting a report for your joint committees on housing and real estate and zoning, landmarks, and building standards, which held a meeting on December 15th, 2020. The following item was passed by a majority of the members present. Page 1 contains the text amendment of municipal codes titles 2, 4, and 17 by modifying various provisions governing affordable dwelling units. Before I ask for a motion, I know my Chairman Osterman would like to speak on this item.
The chair recognizes Chairman Osterman.
Thank you, Madam President. Just want to commend Chairman Tunney for his leadership in helping us steward this ordinance through. To the members of the Zoning and the Housing Committee, which held a subject matter hearing earlier in the summer and had a meeting earlier this week. This ordinance creates a pilot project that will create the ability for homeowners and property owners to establish accessory dwelling units that will add units of housing around the city of Chicago in these pilot areas. This is a collaborative effort with the City Council and the Housing Department, the Zoning Department, and Buildings. I want to commend Commissioner Navarra, Patrick Murphy, and Matt Baudet for their leadership in their departments and your administration, Mayor Lightfoot. This is an ordinance that we think is going to create units that by nature will be affordable and accessible around the city. We will keep the council informed as to the progress of this as we add these units, and the Department of Housing is going to have an education campaign on this matter, as well as a grant program for low to moderate income Chicagoans to add these units to their properties. So I seek the support of the members of the council today and look forward to this helping people around the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Osterman. Chairman Tunney, is there a motion pending?
Madam President, I move passage of this item by the last most favorable roll call vote of the Finance Committee report and the associated unsuccessful motion to reconsider, noting that Alderman Ray Lopez and Alderman Patrick Thompson would like to be recorded as voting no on this matter.
With those no votes recorded, hearing no further objections, so ordered.
Madam President, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Chairman Tunney. Chairman Austin, back to you.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you for allowing me to record at the end. Screen went just totally black. For reporting for your Committee on Contract Oversight and Equities, a meeting that was held on December the 2nd, 2020, an ordinance solely extending Articles 6 of Chapter 2-92 of the Municipal Code, ordinance number 0202-5161. I move that the City Council concur in the recommendation of the committee by the same roll call as item number 1 of the Committee on Finance report and the same unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
Thank you, Madam President. That concludes my one-letter report.
More to come, Chairman Austin, more to come, I
Yes,
promise.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Next on the agenda is agreed calendar. Alderman Harris.
Thank you, Madam President. I received from the clerk, Andrea M. Valencia, a total of 99 items proposed for the agreed calendar, consisting of congratulatory, commemorative, tributary resolutions from the following aldermen. Mayor Lori E. Lightfoot, Alderman Hopkins, Alderman Sawyer, Alderman Thompson, Alderman Quinn, Alderman Burke, Alderman Lopez, Alderman Coleman, Alderman Brookins, Alderman Rodriguez, Alderman Austin, Alderman Villegas, Alderman Mitz, Alderman Smith, and Alderman Osterman. So I move that the passage of the agreed calendar and the omnibus.
Hearing no objections, so ordered. Next, new business. Madam Clerk, please call the roll. Please call the wards beginning with the 50th.
Claims, fee permits, license fee exemptions, which are referred to the Committee on Finance. Zoning amendments, which are referred to the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Traffic regulations, traffic control signals, and traffic signs, which are referred to the Committee on Pedestrian and Traffic Safety. Grants of privilege on and over the public way, which are referred to the Committee on Transportation and Public Way. Exemptions from physical barrier requirement for commercial driveway alley access to parking facilities, which are referred to the Committee on Transportation and Public Way. Alderman Martin has the proposed order for the issuance of permits for signboards at 3407 North Paulina Street, which is referred to the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Alderman Tunney has a proposed order for the issuance of permits for signboards at 2902 North Clark Street, which is referred to the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Alderman Smith has a proposed order for historical landmark fee waiver for the property at 560 West Fullerton Parkway, which is referred to Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Alderman Smith, Cardenas, and Wagaspack have a proposed resolution to call for hearings on commercial and high-density residential recycling program, which is referred to a joint committee of the Committee on Environmental Protection and Energy and the Committee on Ethics and Governmental Oversight. Alderman Riley has a proposed ordinance for amendment of municipal code section 3-4-151 to require the Department of Finance to publish monthly report of revenue collected from taxes imposed, which is referred to the Committee on Finance. Alderman Riley also has a proposed ordinance for amendment of municipal code section 4-60-023 to disallow additional package goods licenses on portions of North LaSalle Drive, West Grand Avenue, and West Illinois Street, which is referred to the Committee on License and Consumer Protection. Alderman Riley also has a proposed ordinance for amendment of taxi cab stand number 479 on East South Water Street, which is referred to the Committee on Transportation and Public Way. Alderman Vasquez has a proposed ordinance for amendment of municipal code section 4-60-023 to allow additional package goods licenses on portions of North Damon Avenue, which is referred to the Committee on License and Consumer Protection. Alderman Nugent has a proposed order for a historical landmark fee waiver for the property at 5801 North Pulaski Road, which is referred to the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Alderman Mitz has a proposed ordinance for amendment of municipal code section 4-60-023 to allow additional package goods licenses on portions of West Lake Street, which is referred to the Committee on License and Consumer Protection. Alderman Villegas has a proposed resolution to call for support of Frontline Healthcare Workers Student Loan Assistance Act of 2020 and call on the United States Secretary of Education and the United States Secretary of Treasury to authorize federal and private student loan forgiveness for essential workers, which is referred to the Committee on Education and Child Development. Alderman Ramirez Rosa has a proposed ordinance for amendment of municipal code section 4-60-022 to allow additional alcoholic liquor licenses on portions of North Milwaukee Avenue, which is referred to the Committee on License and Consumer Protection. Alderman Irvin has proposed orders for the issuance of permits for signboards at 1520 West Harrison Street, which are referred to the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Alderman Burnett has a proposed ordinance for a vacation of the public alley in the area bounded by North Ogden Avenue, West Lake Street, North Loomis Street, and West Randolph Street, which is referred to the Committee on Transportation and Public Way. Alderman Cicho Lopez has a proposed ordinance for conveyance of subsurface freight tunnels to and execution of easement agreement with 600 South Wells LLC for multi-phase mixed-use residential development located at 223 through 313 West Harrison Street, which is referred to the Committee on Transportation and Public Way. Alderman Cicho Lopez and others have a proposed resolution to call for establishment of indoor sites for COVID testing, flu shots, and COVID vaccinations at Chicago Park District field houses, school gymnasiums, and Chicago Department of Public Health and Department of Family and Sports Service facilities.
Budget, Nick Sposato.
Which is referred to the Committee on Health and Human Relations. Two committees called, the matter is referred to the Committee on the Budget.
Mr. Clerk, when two committees are called, I believe it must go to rules.
Apologies.
Okay.
Alderman Rodriguez has a proposed ordinance for an honorary street designation as honorary Magic Juan Suarez Way, which is referred to the Committee on Transportation and Public Way. Alderman Rodriguez and Alderman Hayden have a proposed resolution to call for incoming Biden administration to immediately enact immigration reform, which is referred to the Committee on Immigrant and Refugee Rights. Alderman Brookins has a proposed ordinance for amendment of municipal code section 4-60-023 to allow additional package goods licenses on portion of West 87th Street, which is referred to the Committee on License and Consumer Protection. Alderman Lopez has a proposed resolution to call for establishment of city, county, and state government regional reassistance commission, Renaissance Commission, to publicly discuss collaborative COVID-19 mitigation efforts, regional recovery, reopening spectrums, post-pandemic economic growth and development, and travel and tourism revitalization, which is referred to Committee on Economic, Capital, and Technology Development. Alderman Burke has proposed orders for the issuance of permits for signboards, which are referred to Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Alderman Cardenas has a proposed ordinance for amendment of municipal code, section 4-60-023, to disallow additional package goods licenses on portion of South Archer Avenue, which is referred to Committee on License and Consumer Protection. Alderman Sedlowski-Gaza has a proposed ordinance for dedication, opening, and vacation of public ways in the area bounded by East 116th Street, South Avenue O, East 122nd Street, and the South Chicago and Southern Railroad property, which is referred to Committee on Transportation and Public Way. Alderman Beal has a proposed order for historical landmark fee waiver for the property at 11345 South Forestville Avenue, which is referred to Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Alderman Mitchell, Telefiero, and Alderman Harris have a proposed resolution to call for hearings on the rising number of carjackings in Chicago and the necessary preventative procedures required, which is referred to the Committee on Public Safety. Alderman King has a proposed ordinance for amendment of municipal code, section 17-2-0207, regarding special use approval, prohibited use, and parking standards for cultural exhibits and libraries within various residential zoning districts, which is referred to the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Alderman King has a proposed ordinance for approval of a plat of Carlos S. Dodson re-subdivision, which is referred to the Committee on Transportation and Public Way. Alderman Hopkins has a proposed order for the historical landmark fee waiver for the property at 2146 West Pierce Avenue, which is referred to the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. And Alderman Laspada has a proposed order for historical landmark fee waiver for the property at 1441 North Milwaukee Avenue, which is referred to the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards. Your Honor, that concludes the aldermanic introductions.
Thank you, sir. Next up on the agenda, Alderman Mitchell for approval of the journal.
Madam President, I'm not aware of any corrections to the journal. Move that it be approved by the same roll call vote that was applied to determine quorum.
Hearing no objections, so ordered. Next up, unfinished business, Alderman Mitchell.
Madam President, I'm not aware of any unfinished business.
Next is miscellaneous business, Alderman Mitchell.
I'm not aware of any miscellaneous business.
And the date and time of the next city council meeting.
I provided an ordinance to the clerk setting the date and time of the next meeting of the city council for Wednesday, January 27th, 2021 at 10 a.m.
Madam Clerk, please read the ordinance.
Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicago, Section 1, because an in-person meeting is not practical or prudent due to COVID-19, the next regular meeting of the City Council in accordance with applicable law shall be conducted by video conference on Wednesday, January 27th, 2021, beginning at 10 a.m. and shall provide for remote participation and remote viewing by members of the public. If prior to then the Commissioner of Health issues a written termination that the City Council can safely proceed with an in-person meeting, the meeting will be held at a location to be determined that can safely accommodate the City Council meeting. Any such written determination will be posted on the City Clerk's website along with an amended meeting agenda, which will include a fixed location by 10 a.m. on Monday, January 25th, 2021. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage.
Alderman Mitchell.
Madam President, I move passage in the omnibus.
Hearing no objections, so ordered. Now, next on the agenda is the omnibus, and the chair recognizes Alderman Mitchell.
Madam President, I move that matters in the omnibus be passed by the same roll call vote as was used to determine quorum.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. Next, a motion for adjournment. Alderman Mitchell.
There being no further business before the body, I move that we adjourn by the same roll call vote that was applied to determine quorum.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. The motion is carried. City Council's adjourned. Happy holidays to everyone.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.